What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mike here with another video. This is gonna be a little bit different, and pretty much I just want to check in with you guys. And this is about mental health, something that thankfully over the past couple of years has become a lot less taboo to talk about, but it's still not being taken seriously enough because we don't know enough about mental health because of how secretive people keep it. And first, I just want to ask, are y'all doing okay? Not for real. Are y'all doing okay? Because I know that for me, for a minute, your boy was not doing good. For straight up, your boy was struggling. But I found different ways to kind of help out with my mental health. And different things about, whenever you're in your doctoral journey, mental health is important, period. But with your doctoral journey or any type of like more strenuous degree, I should say, it's real. It can be lonely, it can be fatiguing, you can feel very isolated because it's like you're sitting there grinding, and then next thing you look up, it's 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You know, people are like, oh yeah, can you do this? Can you hang out this time? Can you hang out this time? It's like, no, I have a paper to do. No, I have a test to study for. No, I have this presentation to worry about. No, I got this paper to write. It's like, oh man, it's like, or can you do this? Can you do this? It's like, no, I gotta do this. Like, I gotta do this. Or, you already have plans. Like, oh, I want to go to the gym. I want to do this. You gotta do this. Then you see, your deadlines got moved up a little bit for whatever reason. And you're like, man, I gotta skip on this. Gotta skip it on that. And it gets tough, man. It's hard. So one thing that my dad told me, because he saw that when I was doing my master's, that I was struggling. I was just going. And I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the best student in the world. I'm just stubborn with my progress. So the only way that I can get through certain subjects is literally to just keep reading over the same thing, just going over and pretty much hitting my head against the wall and going. And my dad and I were talking one time, and he was like, how often do you relax? I was like, I'm relaxed. He's like, nah, no, you ain't. He's like, boy, no, you ain't. He's like, I can see how stressed out you are. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So one of the things that we're talking about is the importance of relaxation and, just taking time for yourself. One of the things that I realized is that for me personally, I had to give myself permission to relax. I had to give myself permission to step away. Because if I didn't give myself permission to relax, relaxation felt more like procrastination, which made me even more stressed because I wasn't giving myself permission to relax. I just felt like I was just stepping away from something that was super important to do something that was almost nonsensical, but needed. And that's, again, sometimes I was like, oh, I just gotta keep grinding. But nah, it's okay. You gotta sit down. And I know that our ladies, they do a lot better job talking about their stress, their mental health than us guys do. Straight up, we suck. We suck when it talks about mental health. That's why some of us are so the whole quote unquote toxic masculinity coming out. Why some guys just start blowing up. Whenever a lady's just like, oh yeah, just tell me how you feel. It's like, hey, I'm telling you how I feel. Da 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 da. Or they're like, tell us how you feel, and we're like, I'm fine, I'm good, leave me alone. Because we're taught from such a young age, boys don't cry, boys don't do that. Boys, if they fall, they brush the dirt off and they keep going. But it's okay to cry. It's okay to understand what your feelings are saying and to express yourself in a creative way. Whether it's talking to somebody, talking to a therapist, whether it's painting, whether it's drawing. Sometimes the best artists, musical or whatever medium that you're using, whether it's a musician, whether it's a sculptor, whether it's a painter, sometimes the best artists are ones that are going through the most heartache. Like, have you ever been able to feel someone's pain or feel someone's emotions through a song or through a piece of art? It's real, man. It's real. And the thing is, like I said, I'm glad that talking about mental health is becoming more prevalent. But I know that I can speak for, my particular community, being a black male, with island blood, that we don't take mental health as seriously as we should. Now, for my counterparts in other racial demographics and things like that, y'all may do a better job than we do. But I know that in the black community, we suck at it. Straight up, we suck at it. There's so much trauma that we go through that is just looked at normally, and then we look back and we're like, wait a second, that ain't normal. It's like whenever we were little kids, we were like, well, no, obviously, no, going through stuff, we get beat, so that we feel it. We get a little bit older, we're like, oh yeah, that was funny, remember the good times, da 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 da. And then as we learn more about psychology and sociology and just how human behavior works and anxiety and depression, and you take a look back and you're like, that wasn't right. You know what I mean? So we're continually learning. And again, I'm so thankful that we're seeing more people talk about their mental health, talk about what they're going through, being open and honest and be like, yo, I may look aight, but I ain't aight. You know? Have you guys ever heard the saying, hide behind the tears of a clown? Or, no, you see like the old Shakespeare, the old English plays like Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet and all those old school plays. And they got the two masks, one that's smiling, one that has a sad face on it. The same thing. You know how many people hide behind laughing and smiling and giggling, but they are crying inside? Like legit, not just like one tear, but just like bawling inside. Or they cry themselves to sleep at night, or they come inside their house, or they're in their car, and they just can't get out of their car because the stress is so heavy that they can't move. It's real. And whenever I started working for the company that I work at now, peak panorama, whenever everything was going on, yeah, things are still going on now. Is it as talked about now as it was, 4 years ago? No. Is it still around? It's still around. Unfortunately, visit some hospitals, and you'll see people still in isolation from that stuff. But there are some people talking about depression and sadness and anxiety and stress and fear and not knowing how to express it. And they finally I think people felt a little more comfortable talking about their stress because they're talking to somebody over the phone compared to talking to a loved one or a friend face to face. Because if your loved ones or friends aren't in tune with their emotional well-being, then they'll look at you crazy. They'll look at you like, oh, you're fine, just dust off your shoulders and just keep going. And I don't blame them. I don't fault them for anything because people react to stress differently. Depends on people's acceptance of their stress, how comfortable they are. Because some people just aren't comfortable being around people who are going through certain things. That's why you see like people like that's why in the marriage I was like, for better or for worse, for sickness and health and da 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 da. For sickness and health, that's not just a physical sickness or health. That's a mental and emotional sickness and health. Now, granted, I'm not married, but health and well-being is more than just how much you can bench press or how much you can squat. It's how well you're doing mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, all these things. What are your lab levels like? How good is your heart? What are how strong are you? Are you able to do the things that you want to do? Your activities of daily living. What does your social circle look like? All those things encompass health, well-being, and making sure that you are as whole of a person as you can be. And if you're not as whole as you can be, what can we do to help you fill up those holes that you are becoming as one as you need to be? You know what I mean? But people, it's uncomfortable being around emotions unless you can understand what's going on. And I'm not saying you have to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist to be around people, or you need to be a behavioral technician or anything like that to be around people who are going through certain things. But be okay with understanding what your body is saying. what your mental and emotional health is like. Be okay with taking a step back and be like, "Hi, what's going on?" One of the most powerful things I've ever had to do. Again, this may sound kind of weird. It worked for me. Is before I even had a therapist. Is that it was like 3 years ago. About 3 years ago. I I went to the bathroom. I looked myself in the mirror in the eye and said, "I'm proud of you." And that was really difficult for me because I don't remember ever telling myself that I was proud of myself. And whenever that whenever you're trying to hide something, you can't look somebody in the eye. Same thing. How often do we actually look ourselves in the eye? Because how often do we hide things from ourselves? So if you've never tried it, look at yourself in the eye and say something positive about yourself, or just being open and honest about yourself to yourself out loud. And the reason why I say it out loud, because it hits differently. You have to think about it, you have to hear it, and it actually sticks with you a little bit longer, a little differently. It hits different. When you say things out loud compared to just thinking it. So try that combination. Go to the bathroom, look yourself in the eye, and say something honest out loud while looking yourself in the eye. It's weird. It's powerful. Try it out. Just try it out, man. If you don't like it, hey, you don't like it. If you're like, hey, this is uncomfortable, good. It's supposed to be uncomfortable because you don't grow in comfort. You grow in that uncomfortableness. Look at a butterfly. Butterflies, if I'm not mistaken, they turn to like complete goop. No, they go to a caterpillar and then in the cocoon. If I'm not mistaken, they turn to complete goop before they turn into a butterfly. Anything that is comfortable being goop, I don't think so. I've never been a caterpillar, so I don't know. But I don't think it's comfortable being goop. But you have to go through a certain process in order to come out better, stronger, and to where you need to be on the other side. You know what I mean? So try that, and I recommend people see therapy. Whatever that therapy looks like, if it's like face to face, if it's telephonic, like just over the phone, if it's messaging, find someone that you can talk to, and also find a group of people that you can be honest with, open and honest with, and talk to them about everything, and that they're not just tag alongers. People that you can legit be like, hey, I ain't doing good. I need help. Because how often do we have people that we can say, hey, I need help mentally and emotionally. I'm not doing good. We may know a lot of people, but we don't often have a lot of people in our corners that we can talk about mental health journeys with. You know what I mean? So not saying you need a super big group. I would say probably closer to like 3, 4, 5 people. The reason why I say if it's one person, it's almost just like they're just yelling at you, and it's like you don't get you can build a close relationship with one person compared to multiple people. However, sometimes that one person is not going to tell you the full truth. Whenever you have a small group, think of it more of like a think tank. Like whenever you're watching like some kind of movie and they have like a think tank at like some kind of corporate big office, you have a bunch of people sitting around a table and just talking about different things. Think about it that way. It's having like a small core group that you're like, hey, this is my people. Having that small group and just be like, hey, I need people to talk to. Sometimes you have the person who's going to be goofy and things like that, and kind of like make everyone smile. You may have the hard-nosed people that just tell you that are just a little too blunt, but we need those people. You have a mixed bag of people that support those roles that you need them to be. However, you need to have a group. Do I have my group? No. I'm trying to find my group. And that's one reason why I've been trying to, de-stress at the gym, why I try to take, a moment for myself, like every night, to just breathe and just purposely and breathe, just to let some weight off of me. I try to do that, a couple times a night. If I remember, just like, hey, just take a deep breath. That's why you have to have those people around you that can celebrate the good with and the bad with. Because, you know, I'm gonna quote Boys and Men. You know, sunny days, everybody loves them. But tell me, can you stand the rain? Storms will come. This we know for sure. But can you stand the rain? And we're all gonna have rain. We're all gonna have some storms. But you need that core group of people they can handle the storm with. You know what I mean? You know, whether it's, you know, having that core group of people that are like, hey, it's raining, you're standing out in the middle of the rain, why don't you come and get some shelter? And be like, no, I like standing in the rain, I like standing in the rain. It's like, you have those people, but then those same people are gonna grab an umbrella, go out to you, and pull you into some shelter. You need those people for you. Whether it's your group of friends, whether it's your therapist, whether it's your significant other, whoever that person or those people are, you need to have people in your corner to be like, hey, get out the rain, we got your back. Come on, let's go, tighten up. You know what I mean? So find who you need to support yourself. Be honest with yourself where you are mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Find whether it's your significant other, if you have a significant other, or whatever that significant other looks like. If it's a romantic partner, if it's just a friend, if it's your pet, wherever that extra body is, have that extra body in your corner. Because if not, you're going to struggle. You're going to be going through some stuff and you're like, man, this is tough. Because there's some strong people out there. Like, trust me, there's some real strong people out there. But life happens. And it's not when life happens, it's when life happens. Because life is going to come for us all. And you have to have your people in your corner so you can, make it through life. So I want to reiterate this with you. Are y'all all right? If y'all all right, I'm happy that you're okay. If you're like, I'm somewhere in between, find somebody to talk to. Whether it's just like a friend, whether it's a therapist, whether you're just like, hey, I just need to go to the gym, find that time for yourself. Find the person to talk to. If you're like, Mike, I ain't doing good, find someone to talk to. Find people to talk to. Get out your house. Get out of your routine. Because sometimes being in a routine can just make us, it can pull us down a little bit. So find that core group that you need for yourself. Find those people that you need in your corner to help support you, to help lift you up during these tough times. Because life is tough. Life is very, very tough. And it takes a strong person to admit that they're not doing well. Especially a male who was brought up in a more traditional, what we'll consider more traditional masculine role, of guys don't cry, guys just do this and do this. What some people consider like that leads that toxic masculinity. Particularly for guys who grew up in that Western culture version of rough, tough, keep going. If you grew up in more of an island community that is like, hey, we just go, we don't cry, we don't show emotions. Find something to release yourself and be honest with where you're at. Physically, mentally, emotionally. If you want to tell people that you're in therapy, don't tell people that you're in therapy. Whatever's going to help you progress the most, do that thing. Some people do very well with having accountability partners and be like, hey, I'm in therapy, do you mind checking on me every now and then? Some people want to do certain things like that in secret, and that's okay. As long as you're finding the help that you need at that time, that is the most important thing. So find your help, find your therapist, find your core people that you can rely on that got your back. Because we're all gonna need it. And if you don't know anyone that's gonna have your back, if you don't know anybody like that, if you can't find a therapist like that, I got your back. If you feel like, hey, like drop something in the comment section. It's like, you know, you want to be anonymous, like, hey, I'm not doing good. And it's like, hey, you know, we can chat in the comment section, so you know that someone has your back. Again, we just know each other like this, but it's always important to know that someone has your back, because it just feels you like, makes you feel more supported. You know what I mean? So again, just want to chop it up with you guys, talk about mental health for a little bit, because it's something that we need to talk about a lot more. But until then, later.